Hello and welcome, broad viewers, to RTD's News English edition. As usual, we begin our major news with the top headlines. DCP auditors are developing their skills, Ministry of Budget. And on the international scene, the European Union postpones the implementation of its law against deforestation for 1 year amid intense tensions. Those were the major and top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom of blood viewers. The Prime Minister, His Excellency Mr. Abdelkader Kamil Mohammed, received today the newly created Ambassador of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia to Djibouti. The meeting concentrated on cross-border security and the management on significant irregular migration flows, as well as mechanisms for implementing joint resolutions and enhancing bilateral cooperation. Both delegations expressed satisfaction with the current state of Djibouti-Ethiopia relations and reaffirmed mutual confidence in ongoing partnership frameworks. The ambassador, who until recently held senior executive posts in Ethiopia, including the ministry responsible for government communication, underlined his commitment to deepening cooperation on security and migration management. The Finance, General Economy and Planning Commission, chaired by Honorable Sharmanke Musa Are, met today to examine the draft law validating the 2024 financial statements of the National Agency for Persons with Disabilities, AMPH. The government delegation was led by Mr. Elmis Mohammed Abdullahi, Secretary General of the government, accompanied by the agency's Director General and senior staff. After detailed exchange on execution, transparency, and internal controls, the Commission issued a favorable opinion and approved forwarding the bill to a plenary session for parliamentary debate and adoption. The decision marks an important step towards parliamentary oversight of social sector and spending and reinforcement of public accountability. For 2 days, auditors from the Director of Public Accounting participated in an intensive training or workshop at the People's Palace, delivered by the PKF accounting firm. The program emphasized practical audit skills, mission planning, a risk-based audit approach, control techniques, critical analysis of financial statements, and strict application of professional standards. The initiative targets capacity building for junior auditors recently recruited to the directorate, with the explicit goal of raising the standard of financial controls, improving budget transparency, and strengthening public sector governance. The Director of Public Accounting, Mr. Ihab Nadim Saad, praised participant engagement and framed the training as part of a sustained professionalization drive. In remarks tied to the auditor training, the Minister of Budget, Mr. Isman Ibrahim Roble, underlined the centrality of continuous professional development for financial personnel. Let's listen to him.
Je compte beaucoup sur vous.
I am counting on you because we have a challenge ahead, and for that we will need Djiboutian men and women who will champion this transformation, this paradigm shift away from the current budgetary approach. But I want you to know that I am wholeheartedly and rationally with the team. Training is an added value. It's never a waste of time. Even simple exchange and getting to know one another are truly enriching, and I encourage you to move forward.
The Ministry of Agriculture convened a restitution workshop this morning at the Sheraton Hotel to present findings from regional public consultations carried out under the second phase of Digirza project. Attendees included Minister Mohammed Ahmed Awale, the Minister Secretary General and the Director of Rural Hydraulics. The consultations sought to capture local priorities for rural water access, climate resilience, and sustainable agricultural development. Funded by the World Bank, Digirza aims to expand access to potable water in rural communities, bolster resilience to climate shocks and support productive rural livelihoods. The workshop renewed recommendations from the field and set out the next steps for an inclusive, community-driven implementation of Phase 2. Set out for an inclusive community development implementation of Phase 2, World Bank representatives reaffirmed financial and technical support for the project's objectives. The minister stressed the success of the DIGIRI's second phase depends on fully integrating the needs expanded by rural communities during the consultation process. He highlighted targeted interventions on water infrastructure, irrigation management, and the training for sustainable agricultural practices, and called for close monitoring to ensure the investments translate into tangible improvements for rural households. The Ministry of Commerce today launched the formalization process of the Fruit and Vegetable Society, an effort to modernize and organize the sector. The ministry met with society members to discuss expectations, regulatory needs, and an implementation roadmap. At Riyadh Market, the Society of Distributed Price displays panels to improve transparency and help consumers make informed choices. The official ceremony at the People's Palace highlighted objectives of improving traceability, standardizing market practices, and enhancing supply chain performance. The Director General of Commerce welcomed the initiative as a means to stabilize market operations, protect consumers, and support producers through clearer rules and better market information. Distributed press display panels to improve transparency and help consumers make informed choices. A senior technical advisor to the ministry stressed that formalization will enable more effective price monitoring, facilitate access to credit for organized producers, and pave the way for quality controls and standard enforcement. He emphasized that the policy must be implemented in consultation with traders, transporters, and consumers to avoid unintended disruptions and ensure equitable benefits from the value chain. The Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training, in partnership with the World Bank and the Director General for ICT and Education, integrated a national seminar on digital education in this morning. The opening session was chaired by Mr. Usman, Principal Advisor to the Minister and Acting Secretary General. The event brought together Minister's advisors, Dr. Rene Yotova, Mr. Abdullah Ibrahim Umar, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Digital Economy and Innovation, Director General, inspectors, trainers, head teachers, researchers, and financial partners. The seminar aims to consolidate a shared strategic vision for digital education, raise awareness of available tools and platforms, foster interinstitutional collaboration, and produce actionable recommendations to accelerate the digital transformation of Djibouti's educational system. Practical sessions will cover platform use, teacher training, digital pedagogy, and integration of ICT into curricula, with an emphasis of inclusion and teacher support. Mr. Abdullah Ibrahim Umar and Acting Secretary General Mr. Usman both underlined the seminar's role in allying national actors around operational priorities for digital education, including teacher capacity building, infrastructure rollout, and coordination of donor support. They called for strained partnerships between ministry departments, schools, and technical partners to ensure that investment in connectivity and digital tools translate into measurable learning outcomes. The Ministry of Health announced the launch of a nationwide HPV vaccination campaign to protect girls aged 9 to 14 of cervical cancer. The campaign will run from 7 to 12 December 2025 and will be rolled out across the national territory. In advance of the campaign, an information and awareness day was held at the headquarters of the National Union of Djiboutian Women, bringing together civil society associations, women leaders, and many of the young girls targeted by the program. Public health experts, including Dr. Mako Said at the Balbala Polyclinic, Dr. Adoita, Chief Physician at the Khor Burhan Center, addressed participants on the vaccine safety and importance The official launch ceremony on Sunday, 7 December 2025, will be presided over by Her Excellency Mrs. Khadra Mahmoud Haid, First Lady of the Republic of Djibouti, signaling high-level national support for the initiative. The campaign represents a major step in preventing cervical cancer and improving women's health across the country. The Djiboutian Society of Pediatrics organized a major continuing medical evaluation education session on non-total resuscitation, combining theoretical instructions with intensive practical exercises. The course, hosted in the main AMI Theatre of the Higher Institute of Public Science, was coordinated by Dr. Captain Mahfoud Mukhtar Mahmoud, neonatologist, with contributions from Commandment Dr. Rahma Hussein, Captain Dr. Laita Idris, and Dr. Jessica from CNSS. The session received logistical support from the Institute's director, Mrs. Nadira, who was attended by leading pediatricians, including Dr. Aisha and Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Abdurrahman Mu'min. Organizers said that the training will help frontline clinicals, midwives, and nurses respond more effectively to neonatal emergencies and contribute to reducing neonatal mortality through improved immediate care practices. Mr. Isa Khairi Roble presented his letters of credence on Tuesday, 25th of November 2025, to His Highness Sheikh Mish'al Al-Ahmad Al-Jabir Al-Sabah, Emir of the State of Kuwait, in his capacity as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Djibouti. During the audience, the Emir welcomed the Ambassador and pledged the full support and continued availability of the Kuwaiti authorities to facilitate the access of his mission. The certificate marks a new chapter in bilateral relations and signals the readiness of both capitals to sustain diplomatic and economical ties. As part of the 7th National Week of the Disability, the National Agency for Persons with Disabilities, in partnership with the Rahma Complex, organized a medical caravan to enhance access to health services for people with disabilities. The caravan provided comprehensive, adapted, and accessible care, including specialized consultations, targeted screenings, diagnostic exams, therapeutic referrals, and health education on prevention and follow-up care. The initiative demonstrates the government's commitment to equitable access to health services and highlights concrete steps to reduce health disparities faced by persons with disabilities. The agency's mission is to ensure dignified and continuous care for persons with disabilities and adapted and accessible care, including specialized consultations, targeted screenings, diagnostic exams, therapeutic referrals, and also health education on prevention and follow-up care. The initiative demonstrates the government's commitment to equitable access to health services and highlights concrete steps to reduce health disparities faced by persons with disabilities. The agency also emphasized coordination with medical partners and civil society to expand outreach services and pledged to continue scaling up mobile health interventions to reach undeserved communities. The Director General of the NPH reaffirmed the agency's mission to ensure dignified and continuous care for persons with disabilities. He emphasized coordination with medical partners and civil society to expand outreach services and pledged to continue scaling up mobile health interventions. Yesterday afternoon at Bawadi Mall, the MPH organized an immersive awareness activity designed to deepen a public understanding of daily barriers faced by people with disabilities. Visitors took part in simulations including sight impairment exercises such as being blindfolded while performing routine tasks, which provoked rich exchange and personal reflections among participants. The exercise aimed to foster empathy, encourage accessible design, and build bridges between people with and without disabilities, reinforcing the social inclusion goals of the National Week. Under the emergency project in response to the food security crisis financed by the World Bank, Ministry of Commerce inspectors carried out intensive price control in stock inventory corporations in operations in the Ali Sibeh region on 19 to 20 November 2025. Led by Mr. Daher Jibril Yusuf, Technical Advisor to the Ministry, and the Director of Domestic Commerce, Mr. Abdi Farah Qayad, the inspection team met with the Deputy Prefect, Mrs. Saida Wabri Asowi, to coordinate field activities. Inspectors examined the management of supplies, verified market availability of basic commodities, and checked compliances with government-approved prices. They inspected stock of staple goods, rice, edible oils, sugar, and dairy products, and verified expiration dates to protect consumers from unsellable goods. Agents going and checking out for the unsellable items and the prices and the dates of each product, making sure they respect the law. All the goods seized were burned on place. At the 48th Ordinary Session of the Council of Ministers, the Intergovernmental Authority on Development (IGAD) tasked its Secretariat with drafting a regional strategy on food and nutrition security for 2025-2034. The goal is to coordinate member states' responses, strengthen resilience, and address common challenges posed by food insecurity and climate change. The regional workshop included the Prefect of Tajarrah, Mr. Muhammad Hamad Abbas, the Director of IGAD's Agriculture and Environment Division, Mr. Daher Ilmi, the Director of Agriculture and Forestry, Mr. Mukhtar Mahmoud, and focal points and experts from IGAD member states. The roadmap approved at the workshop set out priority interventions designed to increase resilience across the region and guide coordinated multi-year action. Shifting from Tajarrah to Kenya in Lake Naivasha now, where raising water levels at the Lake Naivasha in Kenya have flooded homes and businesses along the shoreline.
For several months, the shore of Lake Naivasha in Kenya have been experiencing a significant rise in water levels, causing flooding in many homes and businesses located in the immediate vicinity of the lake. More than 5,000 people have had to recollect the higher ground as the water has advanced inland far beyond normal level. The phenomenon also affects other lakes in the Rift Valley, including Baringo and Turkana, where local authorities are closely monitoring the situation to support the affected communities. According to the Kenyan Meteorological Service, several natural and climatic factors can explain this rise, including variation of rainfall patterns and influence of global water phenomena such as El Nino and change related to the region's environmental characteristics.
The European Parliament voted on Wednesday to postpone by 1 year the entry into force of the European Union anti-deforestation regulation.
European Parliament voted on Wednesday to postpone the entry into force of the European Union law against deforestation for 1 year after several rounds of negotiation failed to produce an agreement. According to a statement from the Parliament, this will give companies additional time to comply with the new rules designed to prevent their contribution to forest destruction. This regulation now has the European Union Deforestation and Forestry Regulation requires supplies of products such as beef, cocoa, coffee, palm oil, soy, rubber, and timber to demonstrate that their supply chain are not linked to deforestation. With this postponement, large operators and traders will have to comply with their obligation from December 30, 2026, while small and micro enterprise will be required to comply from June 30, 2027.
Australia is training intelligent restoration techniques to rehabilitate the Great Barrier Reef, deploying precisely placed Geneval corals.
Australia is testing a smart system to restore the Great Barrier Reef by precisely deploying baby corals. The Australian Marine Science Agency has announced the launch of the test for a new artificial intelligence-based deployment guidance, a system designed to bolster restoration efforts on the Great Barrier Reef, one of the world's most precious and threatening marine ecosystem.
Well, buddies, our blood viewers, we finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us, and make sure to tune in later for more as usual. Have a wonderful evening and take care. Thank you.